Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. You won't believe what's been buzzing around the NFL circles lately, and I mean really buzzing. Inside sources, reputable insiders like Adam Schefter, have been whispering about a potential blockbuster trade that could shake up not just the division but the entire conference. And it involves none other than Chris Olave, the explosive wide receiver from New Orleans heading straight to Pittsburgh. Imagine that, Olave, a player who's been lighting up the field with his speed, route running, and big play ability, donning the black and gold. It's a move that could redefine the Steelers' offense and push them even closer to Super Bowl contention. So let's break this down. The Saints, currently sitting at 1-5 and in a bit of a rebuild mode after their struggles this season, are looking to shed some cap space and add draft capital. Olave, who was drafted in 2022 out of Ohio State and has shown flashes of brilliance, is a perfect candidate for a trade. The Saints are reportedly willing to send Olave for a third-round pick in the 2026 draft, and get this, a running back, Ray Davis. The Saints are looking to focus on their offensive line, which has been struggling, allowing a staggering 30 sacks so far this season, ranking 29th in the NFL. Cutting costs and acquiring draft capital makes sense for them, especially as they're trying to build for the future and clear space for rookies and other acquisitions, maybe even a quarterback like Rattler, who's been linked to their plans. Now, why would the Steelers be so interested in Olave? Well, Pittsburgh is sitting at 4-1, with a roster that's all in on this season, and they're looking to elevate their offense to new heights. The recent injury to George Pickens' shoulder, which has been listed as out indefinitely, has created a void in their receiving core. Olave, with his elite deep threat ability and route running, could fill that void and provide a vertical element that the Steelers have been missing. Imagine Kenny Pickett, now with a true deep threat, connecting with Olave on those explosive plays that can shift momentum and stretch defenses. Plus, the Steelers' offensive numbers are showing room for improvement. Currently, their passing yards per game sit around 210, ranking 27th in the league. A player like Olave could bump that average to around 250 yards per game, adding roughly 40 yards per contest. That's a significant boost. His projection for this season is around 100 yards and about 9 touchdowns, which would be a huge upgrade for Pittsburgh's offense. Olave's ability to win contested catches and make big plays downfield, combined with his impressive yards after catch stats, averaging nearly 6 yards after the catch, makes him a perfect fit for the Steelers' offensive scheme. With a quarterback like Rodgers, who's expected to join Pittsburgh soon, Olave's deep routes and red zone efficiency could see a dramatic improvement, especially given Rodgers' history of elevating pass catchers. And let's talk about Rodgers for a second. If he does come to the Steelers, which has been speculated for a while, the impact could be massive. Rodgers, with his 500 passing yards and 10 touchdowns against just 4 interceptions in 2025, would have a new weapon in Olave. The connection could be electric, reminiscent of Rodgers' best years with Davante Adams, but now with a player who's a perfect modern-day deep threat. The synergy between Rodgers and Olave could elevate the Steelers to a top 10 passing offense, something they haven't been in recent years. The potential for explosive plays would skyrocket, and that's exactly what Pittsburgh needs to keep pace with the AFC's elite. Now, looking at the division, this move could be a real game-changer. The AFC North has been fiercely competitive, with teams like Cincinnati and Baltimore showing strong defenses and dynamic offenses. But if Pittsburgh manages to acquire Olave, their offensive threat becomes even more unpredictable. Defensive coordinators will have to game plan for the deep ball, and that adds a new layer of complexity for opponents. Olave's deep target win rate is already impressive, around 65%, and adding him to the Steelers' arsenal could push that number even higher. The red zone efficiency, which currently stands at around 60%, could improve to over 75% with Olave's knack for making contested catches and winning in tight spaces. Now, let's not forget the overall NFL picture. The odds for the Super Bowl have already been shifting. with Pittsburgh's odds dropping from plus 2,000 to plus 1,000. That's a huge jump, indicating that the bookmakers are seeing this team as a genuine contender if they pull off this move. The AFC as a whole is favored, with odds moving to plus 200, but the Steelers' chances seem to be significantly improving, especially with a player like Olave potentially joining the fray. The trade, if it happens, could turn Pittsburgh into a true contender, not just for the division but for the entire league. And speaking of the playoff race, Olave's presence as a deep threat weapon adds a lot of X-factor potential in postseason scenarios. Against teams like the Bengals, known for their zone coverage, Olave's ability to beat man coverage and make those big plays downfield could be the difference in tight playoff games. His red zone effectiveness, currently at around 25%, might see a bump to over 30% with Rodgers and the Steelers' improved offensive line, which has been under pressure but could be bolstered in the future. This move, if it materializes, would be a clear statement that the Steelers are all in on contending now, not just dreaming about future success. But of course, nothing in the NFL is guaranteed until it's official. The Saints are in a tricky spot. They're trying to balance cap space, rebuilding their roster, and perhaps even tanking for a higher draft pick to secure a franchise quarterback like Rattler. That's a risky game, but it's a reality they seem willing to accept. For Pittsburgh, though, this is a golden opportunity. With Olave, they'd have a game-changer on offense, someone who can stretch defenses and open up the field for everyone else, including Pickens and Metcalf, the latter of whom has been making early waves this season with over 350 yards in just a few games. If the Steelers manage to acquire Olave, what does that mean for their season? Well, it could mean a leap into the top 10 in passing offense, a reduction in turnovers, and a more explosive, unpredictable attack. The synergy with Rodgers, if he gets signed, could be immediate and explosive, turning Heinz Field into a nightmare for defenses. And with that, the odds for the Super Bowl, already looking good, could get even better. The Steelers could go from dark horse to serious contender, and fans, I can tell you, that kind of excitement is what we live for in Pittsburgh. So in summary, all signs point to a potential game-changing move that could reshape the AFC North landscape. Chris Olave in black and gold? It's a tantalizing possibility that could elevate the Steelers' offense and bring them closer than ever to that elusive Super Bowl title. The Saints, meanwhile, are positioning themselves for future growth, even if it means parting ways with a talented receiver like Olave. It's the kind of move that keeps the NFL interesting, and for us Steelers fans, it's the kind of news that gets the blood pumping. We'll be watching closely, waiting for that official confirmation, but one thing is clear. This could be a defining moment for the Steelers' season and beyond. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Do you think this trade could happen? Are you excited about the potential impact Olave could have? I know I am. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see how this story unfolds. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, keep the faith, Steelers Nation, forever.